what will happen with the crypto markets for the rest of this month, June 2025. We're going to be taking a look into what could be happening for the crypto markets because we just had a dump yesterday going on till right now. We also have a very big day today because the stock market is about to open in a couple of hours and we're in Pacific Standard Time right now. So, very important to be keeping an eye on the markets today and, of course, next week as well until the end of the month, really. But I pay attention to the charts on a daily basis. That's how I trade. That is how I'm updating you guys. We're also going to be taking a look into a couple of altcoin setups, which would include KAITO, Solana, and Turbo. See what's going on in these markets, what has happened since the last time I've covered them, and what are some new price targets for these markets later in this video, usually after the 10-minute mark. If you guys want to skip through, but I highly recommend that you guys don't because Bitcoin is going to be the first thing that you guys need to know. I always keep the Bitcoin chart in the back of my head whenever I'm trading altcoins. Okay, it is the driver of this market. So let's take a look into what's important right now, which will include some major crypto news. Have you guys my instant reaction, and let's dive into the charts afterwards. Let's go over here to some major Bitcoin and crypto news here. News BTC, Bitcoin closes daily price below 50 MA, final bearish signal. So Bitcoin has closed below the 50 SMA for the past couple of days already. Okay, I'll point that out to you guys in the charts just in a little bit. Is this the final bearish signal? So without getting into too much detail, I'm not really sure what they mean by final bearish signal. Is this the bearish signal before a bounce, or is this the final bearish signal before another drop? I personally think that we're gonna have a bounce here. Okay, that's just me, my personal opinions and speculations. None of what I'm saying here in this video is financial advice, of course. Do your own due diligence. But I do think that we're going to get a bounce here because we are at a major support level. And for the past couple of times, price action has touched down on the support level. It has usually got a pretty good bounce. Let's go to the next piece here. This is by Crypto Potato. Bitcoin price crashes below 100K as Iran votes to close Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, this is bad news because what I learned about the Strait of Hormuz is that it is a passage where a lot of oil passes through. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but that is definitely bad news because that would put inflationary pressure on oil prices. And when there's more inflation pressure, that's going to put, the Fed is not going to like that and could potentially delay a rate cut. Next piece of news here, also by Crypto Potato. Bitcoin dominance skyrockets as ETH and other altcoins plummet. Yes, altcoins are plummeting right now, and Bitcoin dominance is currently on the rise, which is not good for the altcoins, which ties back to what I'm saying. If Bitcoin dumps, very bad for the altcoins. So pay attention to the Bitcoin charts, regardless of what altcoins you guys are holding. Next one is by Cointelegraph. Bitcoin price risk sub 100K dive after Trump confirms Iran strike. Yes, that is bad. That also ties back into the oil prices. That's the first thing I think about when I read this. Of course, there's going to be other, bad news that comes with it too, but that is the first thing I think about that affects the markets. Let's go to the next piece here. News BTC. US Bitcoin ETFs hit 9-day straight inflow streak despite price struggles. So this sounds like it's pretty bullish for crypto as The ETFs are still experiencing a 9-day inflow streak just based on this headline here. So that's at least something positive going for today. Now, what I'm reading here is basically news I am pulling from TradingView. In TradingView, you find news, you find other traders sharing ideas. You can share your own ideas. You will find charts, indicators. It's in my opinion the best place to learn technical analysis and how to trade this market. I have been using it for the past over 5+ years. I have an affiliate link in the description section below if you guys want to check it out. They have plans for under $20. If you guys are trying to trade this market without TradingView, I think that is just suicidal. Um, my honest opinion. And if you guys use my link to sign up, I will also get a commission if you guys use my link, and that supports my channel. And thank you very much. Let's go ahead and go on to the charts here. My favorite part, Bitcoin here. It is dumping, and I have actually opened a leverage position, a long leverage position in an altcoin, Jasmine, in particular. Not that I favor Jasmine in any way, but I was looking for an altcoin that was kind of big, top 200 crypto, just because when Bitcoin is in consolidation, I think the lower ranking and lower market cap cryptos could take a are much riskier. Okay, so I was looking for something bigger that could at least hold value on the downside if that does happen. And my idea on why I opened that position was because we are still trying to stay above the 3-day 21 SMA. We still have a day and more than a day left, so still a lot of time. And this is the first time the price action has actually touched down on that moving average since this moving average has crossed over, okay, the 3-day 50 SMA. And if I want to point out, based on the past few times, Bitcoin has touched down on this moving average and it has gotten a pretty good bounce. You guys can actually see that on the blue line here. Now, of course, price action is trying to dip below it right now, and I bought it. I opened the position when Bitcoin was back at about 102K. So I'll share with you guys how that plays out. But that is just me. Personally, don't do what I'm doing if you guys don't have your own strategy, right? I would suggest never to copy someone's strategy verbatim without forming your own ideas and plan, because things could go wrong and have gone wrong many times. You got to know what to do in those situations, right? So it has gone some pretty good bounces for the past couple of times. It has actually touched down on that moving average, and that's my reasoning for opening the leverage position. We do have the stock market opening up in a couple of hours. Okay. Also, just let's go back to the Bitcoin chart here real quick. Yesterday, I mentioned that there was a falling wedge pattern on the hourly time frame and the symmetrical triangle pattern, both of which are now invalidated because that symmetrical triangle pattern has actually broken down, and so did that falling wedge pattern. Okay, now what I'm seeing on this time frame here, on this hourly time frame here, is a huge, at least relative to the time frame, falling wedge pattern here. Okay, and quite a bit of reversal signals on the RSI, okay, including bullish divergence on the RSI, as you guys can see, right? Just in this area here, so you get lower or equal lows, which we're seeing right here, but you're also getting lower or higher lows on the RSI. That is usually indicative of a bounce. How far that bounce takes us, we don't know. Just gotta continue charting it on the time frame and watch for any hints. Let's come back to the 6-hour time frame here, where I still see a reversal signal. Okay, that could still give a bounce, right? On the 6-hour, we have a lower low here, but we also have a higher or equal low on the RSI. So that is, it could give a bounce here. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. Let's move over to stock market ES1 exclamation mark, which is stock market futures for the S&P 500. Let's come to the weekly time frame here, where there could be bearish divergence playing out. That could play out next week. Okay, that is not good, right? Based on so we had a higher high, a slightly higher high on the weekly time frame, but not exactly. So almost an equal high on the RSI. That is bearish divergence. It usually could indicate a pullback, right? The reverse of bullish divergence. Okay, something to be paying attention to. And why is this important? Because it is highly correlated with Bitcoin. Okay, that is basically what I'm paying attention to. Let's come over here to KAITO and see what's going on in this market. Okay, this is a relative new coin. It's a relatively new coin here. Currently at about $1.25. Weekly time frame here. What I'm seeing is a lower high, which is not good because when you have a lower high, that is not exactly an uptrend, right? You want to see a higher high. You still do have a higher low on the weekly time frame. So you definitely, if this is still on an uptrend, definitely want to keep that higher low. So you definitely want to see a weekly candle close above, I would say, 90 above this previous red weekly candle, right? So anywhere above that red weekly candle at about 80 cents, that would still tell me that this is still on a possible upward uptrend trajectory. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little bit, and let's come to the. It's basically broken below some major moving averages on the daily time frame and the 3-day time frame. Okay, that's something to note. Let's come down here to the 4-hour time frame, where there is a falling wedge, which is a very common pattern. Price target out of this falling wedge is going to be about $1.80. Price targets are estimates only. It could be more, it could be less. Okay, it's not going to be 100%, and um, this is going to be very dependent on what Bitcoin does. Okay, if Bitcoin dumps, these setups matter very less. Okay, very little. All right. So that's basically what I'm seeing for Kaito. Let's take a look into Solana. A lot of buzz around Solana. Could it face a further decline? Well, I'm just gonna tell you what's on the charts here. Okay. I'm not really gonna be talking about the fundamentals because I don't know. I am a trader, and I base my trades very much, if not 100%, on the charts. Okay, I mean the Fed meeting maybe has some factor, but a lot on the charts. Solana here. Okay, weekly time frame. Weekly time frame. Let's actually zoom in a little bit. 3-day time frame. Falling wedge. Broke out of this falling wedge. Still valid. Price target out of that falling wedge is underneath, just right under $245. Solana. Since it broke out, it's still a valid breakout. Okay. Let's come over here to the daily time frame. Another falling wedge pattern. Price target out of this falling wedge pattern is going to be about $185. If it breaks out by this point, if it doesn't, move the measurement along this upper trend line if this pattern is still valid. Now, falling wedge patterns usually favors a bullish breakout, but of course also have to take into consideration of a possible breakdown as well, because there's still a chance. Let's come over here to Turbo and see what's going on in this market. Weekly time frame. Broke out of this a couple of weeks ago, quite a few weeks ago. Price target hasn't changed. Okay, it's still about just 1.1 cents almost price target for Turbo. Since it broke out, it's basically broke above the weekly 21 SMA for a little while, but it's retesting it. When you usually see a downward sloping moving average, chances are price action is going to retest it, as we have been seeing for the past couple of weeks for Turbo. Let's come over here to the daily time frame and get a more clear picture on what this price action could be, where this price action could be heading. Okay, price target, also falling wedge pattern, a pattern you guys should definitely familiarize yourself with on TradingView. That's my preferred way. Price target, it's going to be about 0.5 cents out of this falling wedge pattern. Like I said, it's going to be very much based on what Bitcoin does. Okay. Now, that is basically what I'm seeing for these markets. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments. Let me know if you guys want to see any other markets. I'll pick one request to do for you guys on a daily basis. And make sure to like, subscribe, and comment for daily videos. And I'll see you guys on the next one.